right, guys, as you saw in the thumbnail, we're about to dig into this Turbo 400. Now, this is a Chevy bell housing going in my 1967 GTO. And it's not a BOP transmission because I have an L33, all aluminum L33 LS in this thing. I know the Pontiac haters are going to hate, but whatever. This is going to be a drag and drive car. As you can kind of see, it's got a roll cage in there. We've got the 9-inch all done and the disc brakes up front. You know, the engine's sitting in place. We got to build the turbo kit. Yeah, this is going to be a turbo car. Anyway, you guys are here for this. So I'm about to rip into it, tear it down. I've got the ASG manual and this Haynes manual. So between the two of those, it should hopefully help me rip this thing apart. I have not had a turbo 400 apart before. I've had the Chrysler 904s apart and rebuilt many times. So I've rebuilt transmissions before, just not a 400. Shouldn't be that hard. Transmissions are a transmission. This will have a reverse manual valve body with trans brake. I have not decided who I'm going with. I'm either going to go with ATD or I'm going to go, with a hipster by ATD or go with an FTI. So those are the two I'm kind of narrowed down my choices to. Anyway, let's dig into ripping this thing apart and see what it looks like, because I have no idea. I paid $100 for this as a core. Let's find out what's inside. All right, guys, so what have we gotten so far accomplished? Well, we moved the speedo, the governor, tail shaft housing, obviously the oil pan, the transmission pan, the filter, and we're getting ready to pop the valve body off. It's just coming over here just to look at the condition of the bottom of the pan real fast. You can see it's actually not terrible. It's got some stuff down in there, but I mean, it's not terrible. So we'll have to see when we check out the drums and everything, if the bands are actually just worn out garbage and if they've dug into the drums or not. So that'll be the important thing. So let me pop the valve body off and go through the next steps here and see what we got to do. And then we'll pull the pump out and pull the guts of this thing out. All right, guys. So for those of you that are just doing a transmission refresh, here is all the check ball locations. So you can see there's one here, one here, one here, one there, here. Is there any other ones? That looks like it. So that's why I built this fixture, so that I can flip it over and these check balls don't go flying out all over the place. So now I'm going to get a magnet. We'll get all the check balls out of here and we'll put them somewhere. All right, guys, so we pretty much have everything removed here. All our servo pistons and whatnot. Now we're getting ready to pull the front pump, and I've made this tool up for my 904 transmission. It's basically a slide hammer. And all I did was weld a nut to a bolt, so then I can thread it into the front pump, which will thread in here and here. So if you look inside, you'll see threads, right? But here, none of these other ones have threads. So we'll use the slide hammer, give her a few pops on both sides and work it loose. I should say it's going to take a little more than that, but we're going to rotate this so it's belly up, so to speak, and then we'll slide hammer the pump out. All right, guys, so you can see we got the front pump out. I only took a couple of slide, pops to get it to pop out. We'll tear it apart and look at it here in a little bit. And then you can basically just grab it by the input shaft, pull it out. And then basically you can come over here and just lift this straight up. I used both hands kind of like this on both sides to just pull this out. So we got this drum assembly out of the way. And we'll peel this apart and see what our frictions and steels look like in a minute. Now we can pull the band out. And then there's a big snap ring in here that we need to pop out next. But you can see the band actually looks in pretty decent shape. Not too shabby. Plenty of still meat on it. So yeah, not too much wear on the band. That's a good thing. Granted, I'm not going to reuse it. But now let me get a big screwdriver in here. We'll pop this snap ring out right here that I'm talking about, and then we should be able to pull some of these next parts out. All right, guys, so once we got the snap ring out, we were able to remove these frictions and steels and pressure plate. And you can see here, you know, they're at least not worn out and they're not like all grooved. So the frictions and steels. Now granted, I am not going to put these back in, but they're not horrible. So now there's another snap ring we need to pull out. So you can see right here, we have another snap ring that we need to pop off. So we'll pop this snap ring off, then we can take some more of the guts out. So guys, the next thing I need to do is remove this little 12-point socket, 12-point bolt right here with a 12-point socket. So then we can pull the rest of this assembly out. All right guys, so now that I've got that bolt removed, you can see, I was able to pull this out. So I'm going to use 2 hands now to set this over on the workbench. All right, underneath that, guys, was another big snap ring. And now we should be able to pull this last band out. Let me just set that there. Now let me get a screwdriver so we can collapse that a little bit and get this band out of here. And then I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything left other than that. The good news is that band did not destroy this drum. You can see the drum is in great condition here. No grooves that I can feel at all. We should be able to just take a little emery cloth and just kind of clean it up a little bit. And, disassemble this whole unit and check it out. See what's going on. You can see here it's got the old cast ceiling rings all on this guy. Which I believe I'm going to be putting all new Teflon ones in. I shouldn't say all, depending on the reverse manual valve body, what they say. We may not be putting, but only a couple of these in. I got to read the directions when I decide which one to go with. So you can see, guys, the band is actually still in good shape. Looks like there's still plenty of material on this guy too. Now here's the frictions and steels from this drum, and you can see they are all in great shape. There's no hot spots on any of the friction or on any of the steels. Nah. A little discoloration. No, really no hot spots at all. So all the frictions and steels look good there. All the frictions and steels looked, good back here. So I'd say we got a great core to work with. I still need to take the front pump apart and see what what it looks like. Looks like we have a totally stock TH400 that has had never anything done to it. So we've got a really good core here to rebuild. And here finally, took this one apart as well. These came out of here, and you can see frictions and steels. Pretty decent shape overall. So not terrible by any means. This one was resting up against the piston, so I'm not too worried about that. I think that one was up against the piston, but oh, that one actually is starting to show wear. Wait a minute. Yeah, so these here, a few frictions and steels were causing wear. Yeah, you can see the clutch material is gone off of this one. So there's one of the frictions. You can see how thin it was getting on the edge, and on the back side, it's completely gone. So it looks like this friction and steel setup here had given up the ghost. So maybe that's why they pulled it out and sold it. I think somebody was parting out a vehicle. But anyway, so we did find some wear here on these. You can see on this one as well, it's wear. But at least it didn't groove into this one. So anyway, looks like we'll be putting in some new frictions and steels, obviously. We'll be putting in all new, lip seals as well. We'll be replacing these springs when I do the reverse manual valve body. I'll be replacing this with more of a billet piece. And then we'll do basically a refresh of the whole thing. Yeah, I've got to double check to see if I bought new bands. I believe I bought new bands as well. I think I bought Kevlar, so I got to go downstairs and get the kit in the basement. But the next thing, like I said, is basically I just got to tear the pump apart, double check the gear on the pump, and then clean the case up real good so it looks pretty for paint. All right, guys, so you'll probably see this when it's a little warmer out, but there's our 400 torn down, right? We got a good core to build, all the drums, everything's in good shape, the case is in good shape. You know, we're getting it cleaned up. We're gonna cut the ears off of it. You know, that kind of stuff. So we'll, I'm still debating if I'm gonna paint it. I'll probably paint it. My Mopar I didn't paint, but I'll probably paint this one so it looks nice. I got to decide on a deep pan. Probably going to go with an aluminum pan as well. Help stiffen up the whole case versus, you know, a deep steel, which I have and I could use, but I'll probably buy a couple, you know, $175 aluminum one. You know, in the next video, we'll go over all the parts and pieces we'll put in it and, you know, start replacing all the bushings in it, start tearing down the lower unit, you know, that kind of stuff. I got to read the directions for the trans brake. I end up going with an ATD cast valve body, not the billet. You know, I was doing some searching and I came across a real good deal on a brand new ATD hipster cast valve body. Brand new, never used. Guy gave me a screaming deal on it. So that's what we're gonna put in it. You know, I don't need to worry about 1-2 different leaves and all that shit, you know, so I'm just gonna put that in the car and have fun with the car. That's what it's all about, having a good time. Anyway, we'll see you guys on the on future uploads, I hope, on, you know, building this 400.